Hello again, in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here and to have this amazing community here on YouTube. And I hope you're all doing well, and if you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Nicholas, and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, self-love, and all matter of philosophical and spiritual topics. So if you're interested in those types of things, you know what to do. Please subscribe. Click the bell icon to be notified each time I post a video. Now today is going to be a philosophical video, and on the channel I've got lots of different playlists and I'm talking about all sorts of things, but today I'm going to be talking about where being special is problematic. So part of self-love is we want to understand that we are special, we are unique, and again, I'll talk about shadow work is discovering your fears, your insecurities. We've all got an ego. The ego can be a good thing, but it's just like the shadow and the ego part of us, we have to integrate that. We have to work with it, accept it, and integrate it. The concept of being special can also be very problematic because, yes, everyone on the planet is special. Because to be special means to be different from the rest. We're all different from the rest. But we can choose to stand out and shine bright like the stars we are. Or we can choose to try and blend in and be like a sheep. We can choose that, which is not a wise choice to try and blend in and be something you're not. But where being special is problematic, it's like everyone's special, but where it becomes a problem if an individual gets too big-headed and they think they're more special than anyone else. So if an individual becomes very ungrounded in a spiritual path and in life, it's so important to remain grounded. It's important to remember you're a human being, you've got a human life to live. Yes, you may be on a spiritual path, and yes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but it's important to remember you're living a human life, you've got a human journey. And also, but we're all important, we're all special. But some individuals have done research and they may discover, now they do exist and I do believe in them. And again, rather people, are these types of things and rather people do believe in them is another subject. Now, like indigos, crystal children, rainbow children, these individuals are important and they do exist, and these types of children are beings that are very sensitive to the psychic and spiritual realm. They may remember past lives, and also they're born very psychic and connected, and there's certain things that makes an individual an indigo or a rainbow, crystal child, or a star seed. There's certain things that make a child that way. But an individual who's on a spiritual path could do their research and find out what an indigo is, and they could discover what they're an indigo or a star seed, and that's a good thing. There's positive things about that. There's positive things. This is why you've got your gifts, your abilities. You're very sensitive to the psychic and spiritual realm. You're very connected. That's all well good. The only shadow aspect of that is if an individual got big-headed and they thought because they're an indigo or they're a star seed, they're a rainbow child or crystal child, well, they're more important than anyone. Now, a lot of indigos and crystal children are not egotistical. They're not, but they could fall into that. They could. And even on the concept of being special, if someone is on a spiritual path and they think because their path's the right path, the only path, or the true path, or they think because they're spiritual but the people in their life are not spiritual, they may think, if an individual starts to think that they're more important than anyone else, they're more special than anyone else, that's when being special becomes a problem. It becomes problematic, because at the end of the day, every single one of us on this planet, we're all special. Life is not a competition. No one's better than anyone else. We're all at different levels. And I discovered that because I've done some research on it. Well, I was an indigo, but I still remained humble and grounded. And I think it's so important to remember you're human. You've got a human life to live. and to stay humble, you know. And sometimes when it comes to your angels and guides, they will give you initiations. They might tell you were a high priest or you were this person in this life, and it's a test because you could go, right, they're telling me this, so because I either was that person, or they're telling me this to show, right, am I going to let the fact that I was this person in another life, am I going to let that, am I going to let it carry away with me? Or run with that idea and think I'm more important than what I am. So sometimes deities may show this. And again, we're all human. Deities and spirits give us initiations to teach us lessons, to help us. Some of them are wonderful initiations. Some of them are not so nice. But we can fail an initiation. It could be a test. Our deities or spirits can give us tests. But it's to help us learn. It's to help us grow. And we're human, we could fail a test, and that's not a reflection on the deity. It's just we've failed a test, and we can always redo it and learn again. But we're all special, every one of us. It's just the only time it becomes a problem being special if an individual thinks they're better than anyone else. And it also, like, in a lot of self-love and spiritual circles, I've even said it, we're all the kings and queens of our life. But again, and we are the leaders of our life, because our life is a storybook. The choices we make each and every day shape our life story. But if an individual gets into the framework, they're the king of their life, and everyone else in their life doesn't matter, no one else matters but them, and everyone's the dirty little rascal down at the bottom, that is when this, someone's ego can, bring about an individual's downfall and fill their mind with delusions. And that's where being special, we're all special and we're all 1 in a million, and that's true. Everyone is unique, everyone is different from the rest. We're all gold. And just like this beautiful crystal, citrine, which connects with the solar plexus chakra, we've all got the solar plexus and sacral chakra. So this crystal connects to the solar as well as the sacral chakra, this citrine. But we've all got a divine spark in us. We're all connected to spirit. Spirit lives within us, and we're all connected to spirit. We're all connected to everything what is. Everything is one within the universe. Everything's interconnected, and we're all special, and we're all part of the universe. But there will be individuals. This is like, there'll be occult leaders. We might say that they're more special than you, or there'll be teachers we might say they're more special than you, or they're more powerful than you. And this is where, if anyone's saying that, these are red flags. If someone's saying they're more special than you, they're more educated than you, they're more important, that if individuals get a problem, not you. And this video, I felt like making it to shout out, like, to share that red flag. We're all special, we're all important. Some individuals may be indigos, maybe crystal children, angel children, but if they're wise, they'll understand they're gifted, they're blessed, but they're not more important than anyone else. Some individuals may be indigos or crystal children, rainbow children, star seeds, they may be that, but the knowledge that they are that, they're not humble about it, they brave it in everyone's face, and then they make out that they're more important than anyone else because of what type of child they are. And that's where being special is not a good thing and problematic. Some individuals are not what they claim to be, but they'll say they are because they want money off people, or they want attention, they want fame. That ego needs fed. A lot of occult leaders have got a fragile ego, and that ego gets stronger the more people would feed the ego. And my intention with this video, or my message, is that we're all special, everyone on the planet. No one's more special than anyone else, because to be special means we're different from the rest. We've all got something. If the world was a table, we've all got something to bring to the table. We've all got unique gifts and talents. We've all got strengths, but we've also all got flaws and weaknesses, which are just part of us and make us who we are, and we want to We want to dance with the light and the darkness. And dancing with the light is, your strengths, your good qualities. Dancing with the darkness is your flaws, your weaknesses. You want to learn to love and accept them too. But we're all special. Just be wary of people which say they're more special than anyone else, or they're better than anyone else. These types of individuals which preach that or say that are individuals to be wary of. But also sometimes we need to do shadow work in that as well, because sometimes we might have been told as a child, or at certain parts of our life we may be told we're special, and we are special, but we mustn't let it get over our head. We mustn't let that compliment get to us. We must understand we're important, we're special, we've got unique gifts and talents to give to this world, and we all have the ability to make this world a better place. But we mustn't let that compliment, or we mustn't think we're better than anyone else or more important than anyone else, because that's when being special is problematic. And as always, I thought I would talk about this because everything in life, I feel, has a light and a dark side to it. Everything's got a light and a dark side to it. It's like love is beautiful. Love is a beautiful thing, but also they can be, depending on what type of love that is it genuine love? And then there's even darker aspects to love as well, because even if your relationship is beautiful, amazing, there's still pain, because you could have a beautiful relationship with someone and then that person passes away. So the rose, which is a symbol of love, has a lot of lessons to teach about love. It's got a lot to teach about love, the rose, because love is protective, but at the same time love also can hurt, in the sense genuine love has its ups and downs. But I'm saying if you're in a romantic relationship with someone, has its pros and cons, but if you lost the person you loved so much in a good relationship, it would hurt. And then as someone who's also experienced, had people in my life that I've loved and lost, love is a beautiful thing, but that's part of the human journey, loving and losing. But there's a shadow side to everything. There's pros and cons to everything. And when it comes to being special, the pro thing is to understand you are different, you are unique, and you should celebrate your uniqueness. What makes you special? We've all got something that makes us special. But the shadow side of being special, if you start to think you're better than anyone else, that your light shines better than anyone else's light, or your light's the only light that matters, that's when being special is problematic. That's the shadow side of being special as well. And I just thought to make this video for awareness, and there's also going to be occult leaders and things like that out there who will say they're so powerful, so great, and more special than anyone else. Their light is quite over-intimidating, but they're not using their abilities or gifts to help people. They're using it for their own self purposes. So again, my intention is always to raise awareness and to show that there's a light and dark side to everything as well. And that's just the nature of things, because we live in a universe where there's a polar opposite to everything. There's a polar opposite to everything as well. As always, I hope it helps. I hope it gives guidance and support. I just thought so called, and my spirit guides were telling me to make this video as well, to show that being special is all well and good and we're all special, but no one's more special than anyone else. But when individuals start to think they're more special than anyone else, and they try and blind other people with their light and go, I'm the only light that matters here, that's when being special is problematic. As always, until next time, take care. Hope this message helps and gives guidance. Till next time, stay safe, stay wise, and always do what feels right. And to those of you who are practicing witches like me, stay witchy. Blessed be.